phones, even calls. And I thought that I knew everything, but I didn't know anything. My life's just passing by. My worst day now, still better than my best day then. My worst day now, still better than my best day then. My best day then. Journey of 1,000 miles. You can't begin without a single step.
Welcome in. Welcome in. Hi, everybody. That microphone's very loud. I don't like it. But,
What, the sound? Yeah.
yeah, but that's alright. This one. I'll make that one better. It's like a work in progress
Mm-hmm.
constantly. But, you know, that's the way it goes.
Live and learn.
Right, well, that's how it is, you know. I changed everything around, and it took me like half a year to get the other situation the way I wanted it. And then I moved everything, so now we're going to, you know, it'll take me a few weeks to get things. See, that's a little better, right? That sounds a little better.
Mm-hmm.
Hey. All right, so hang on, let's do this. We're gonna keep monkeying with it, because you have no idea how many hours I've spent monkeying with this, hours and hours. So, ladies and gentlemen, Patrick Spiroff. Here he is.
Hello, everyone.
This is Fred, the screaming. Great. All right, so that's I haven't even had a chance to take a sip of my Diet Coke since you got here. That's the way it goes. So I'm gonna do that.
No rest for the wicked, dude.
Okay, so welcome in. My name is Michael Marsden. This is the Stream to No One that I created, probably I'd say a year and a half ago, year and 4 months ago, as a way to play songs that I had written because I couldn't figure out a venue or an outlet for this stuff, and I was a very sad man. And back then I was really not in a place where I could go out and meet people and play open mics or do anything like that, and so I just figured out a way to start a stream, and I just started streaming, and there was nobody out there at all. And but lo and behold, 64 episodes later, there's some people that take this in on a regular basis, and some other folks that come by and listen and watch later on.
Cool.
And a couple weeks ago, I had a guest, a mutual friend, Mr. Aaron Kelly, came in, and we talked about some songwriting, and he played some of his fantastic songs, and it got me to thinking, in the last few months, I've met a number of delightful people like yourself who are wonderful songwriters, and we end up in the same places an awful lot, and
Paths cross often.
right, and very encouraging people, much like Aaron, who have helped me to get off of the, like, what's the right word? Tentativeness of playing my originals. Where for a long time, for my whole life, everything I did was always to play the originals, but there was always this tentativeness, this, well, I don't know, it's, what if they don't like it, or fitting them among covers to try to, this sort of, trying always to present it in a way, or whatever. And finally, I'm not doing that, and it's working better. Just, it's hard to unwind that in your brain if you've done that your whole life.
Yeah.
But part of what I'm trying to do now in having that conversation, and a number of conversations I've had outside of this room but with other people, is to be someone like yourself. The first time I met you, you were very encouraging. We met at Black Dog Vinyl, and you were very encouraging about the originals that I played that night, and that, and so that was the nature of the beginning of our conversation. And so that led to this, to that, to this, to that, which led to me starting to invite guests, and you essentially being the first, really. There was supposed to be somebody last week, but he was not able to make it. And so there's a number of people that are going to come in and talk about all these different things. So so that's the nature of what's coming up. On today's show, Patrick's going to play a couple songs. I might play one. We always have... the album side of the week, the dumb joke of the day, which Fred the Screaming Goat helps out with. You never know what our favorite postman, Aaron Kelly, puts in the mailbox, because he comes when nobody's around with his headphones and stuffs things in the mailbox. So it's what he does. So first question that I would say I have is. Yeah, that's pretty much today's show. So, what's your favorite color?
Green symbolizes growth in life.
Really?
To me.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's
like mold?
What? Like mold. That's growth in life. Mold is growth in life too, dude. Mostly it's like, I just love walking through forests and that stuff, and being surrounded by, in the summer, surrounded by the green. Well, or mountains, surrounded by green.
Green is, and has it always been since you were a little kid?
Yeah,
it's
always been green. Because
for me, it's orange, and it just has been since I was a little kid. Mm-hmm. Orange, and I think it has to do with a race car. When I was a little kid, my dad was a mechanic on a race car, and the car was orange.
Makes sense.
I think. I'm not sure. I don't know if it's that simple or if there's more to it than that. But it's we're still messing.
They say sometimes the most obvious answer is the answer.
Right. That's Occam's razor, isn't it?
Yes.
Okay, so. All right, that was an easy question, wasn't it?
Yeah.
They're really all going to be pretty much nothing too hard.
Cool. So,
you got a song you want to play?
Sure.
All right, Patrick's going to do a song for us.
This is a song that's probably it's not my favorite song, but it's a popular song. Everybody that remembers the name of any of my songs, this is the one they remember. If a day's called duty, the new tomorrow's out of town. He ain't worried about his future, so chance he'll be around. Living only for this moment, crunked up just getting by. His mama lights a candle to pray to won't die. So on and on, same old story over and over again. Another wasted life, one more pointless death on the south side of Chicago. The new tomorrow's out of town, the south side of Chicago. on the streets they call Shirek. Gang bang when she was 13. Hello flyboy family. Stacking stories, get a revenge. No check could stop a spree. No thought she was a header. Carried body in the skull. Even flyboys start to fear her. Being peace she's made no more. So on and on, same old story over and over again. Another wasted life. One more pointless death on the south side of Chicago. But no tomorrow side of town. The south side of Chicago. On the streets they call Shirek. What did she know about the street life? Just a baby in a bed. Some shooters missing fury. No beat they took, 'cause now she's dead. So on and on, same old story over and over again. Another wasted life. One more pointless death on the south side of Chicago. But no tomorrow side of town. The south side of Chicago. On the streets they call Shirek.
Very nice.
Thank you.
I like that. Now, words are pretty hardcore.
Well, it's so the first lyric is just I made it up, right? I just imagined
Right, like
a mother going into a church and lighting a candle for her son, praying for him. Second lyric was based on a real person. Her name was Little Kim, I think. Anyway, she was an assassin for the Flyboys, and apparently she was really good. And it was believed, the rumor is that the gang itself had her taken out because they were starting to get really afraid of her. But she apparently racked up like 23, 24 body count and in a short period of time. And the third is just another story I read about a baby that was just a misaimed shot and went through the wall, hit the kid in the head, boom.
lots of stories like that.
Yeah, lots of stories, right. It's
But
not
that's what we
even
do.
that
We hold
common.
hold up a mirror and show people, you know. But there's the perspective of holding up the mirror, whether it's you're not necessarily judging or making commentary, you're just showing
I'm just telling
examples,
the story.
right?
I'm just telling the story.
And that's
No judgments.
right? And that's the thing that like.
Well, a little bit of judgments because in my head, you know, it's all so pointless. It's all, you know, that I am trying to make that point that all this violence and stuff serves nobody. Like, there's no winners. Everybody loses. It's
how
just
it perpetuates to the point where that's happening, and all the gray areas that lead to it. It's awful. So and that's you know, when things get bad, that's I heard this statement recently. When things get bad, that's when artists go to work. It's
well, we must be very busy these days.
it was a recent statement. It was a recent statement.
So what's fun about that song, though? So I went to a open mic in South Shore, Chicago, right, not too far from the actual neighborhood that was Chirac, and played it, and just because I wanted to see how it would go over, and it went over really well. Everybody really, really liked the song, and I was thinking, I was worried that it might not.
Could go either way.
It could go either way,
Right.
but the way it went was totally positive. And as a matter of fact, they invited me to do a gig on the 19th, and so it's like, yeah, it's gone really well.
That's good.
So I'm glad of that.
Yeah.
Because it's meant as an homage, not a critique.
Right. All right. Well, good. That's good. All right. So let's see. The next point of business in the show, generally, we would do the album. When you were a kid, did you listen? You must have listened to records.
Oh yeah.
Now, recently I got back into listening to albums, and and I started doing the act of playing a record and having to flip it over.
Right.
And then, like, when you get used to playlists or Spotify, or it just keeps going and you don't have to think real hard and it picks songs for you, and you don't have to
The algo's picking the song.
decide.
Right.
It's you sort of lose track, and it keeps picking things, and the act of digging through the records and picking stuff, and then the album side, the groupings of sides.
Right.
And so I started doing the album side of the week, picking an album side, because a couple weeks ago I just got stuck on. I never really listened to Zeppelin as a kid. I just, not that they weren't great or anything. It just, and my wife had. I dug through albums she had in a box, and I took them out here when I got this record player, and I played Led Zeppelin 2 side 1 over and over again. I just kept playing it. I'm like, that's a really,
that was a good one.
It's a really good grouping of songs.
Yes. Well, that's the thing. And in those days, I mean, you sequenced songs.
Right.
Nowadays, I mean, people say they kind of sequence, but it's not that important because people aren't really listening. They're doing random. I mean, even your phone, like, I'm trying to listen to something straight through, and it will just all of a sudden if I turn the phone off and turn it back on, then it will come back, but it'll be random and it'll be jumping all over, and it pisses the hell out of me because I want to listen to things in sequential order.
Right. Well, that's an old school thing too. So I started doing the album side of the week, and this week is Scarecrow, John Mellencamp. John Cougar Mellencamp. It's John Cougar Mellencamp still. He was still transitioning. Mm-hmm. And side 1, which is Rain on the Scarecrow. And this is also fun too, because you have all of the mass of record. So I remember when not too long after this album came out, I told you my dad worked on a race car, and my brother was very involved in racing, and a lot of it was based in Indiana and stuff.
Oh, okay.
And so, like, when I was 18 or 19, I was meeting my brother at a racetrack somewhere in central Indiana, and he's like, "Hey, on your way down, just put on Scarecrow on your way and just listen to it all the way through as you're driving through the middle of Indiana."
There you go.
It was a great suggestion. So, the Rain on the Scarecrow, that little transition, the Grandma's theme, and then Small Town. Minutes to Memories. Are you familiar with that one?
See, I'm not familiar with the album, and I think it was like because he was so popular,
Right.
that I kind of like.
I had that thing with Springsteen.
Oh, okay.
And it was like, no. But then later on, I was like,
Yeah.
oh, I get it.
Yeah.
Because I was like, forget it. Minutes to Memories is a tune that he does in 4/4, and I do a version of it in 3/4. I did a whole version of it. Lonely All Night, and Face of the Nation, which is that there's 6 songs on that side of the record. Mm-hmm. The other side isn't so bad either, but I picked side 1 for this week's album side. So if you take those first 6 songs, if you look it up online, and you take those first 6 songs and put those in a playlist and just those, that's your album side of the week. That would be my suggestion. Or go to a local record shop and buy a record, like, I don't know, Black Dog Vinyl Cafe or Crooked Arm in Lyle. Those are good. Maybe Thursday night.
Are you going Thursday?
Thursday, my friend Demi has her showcase, and Jackie is.
Oh, you're going to Black Dog, so I'm
Black
going.
Dog is.
I'm going to Crooked.
Crooked has the open mic, right?
Right.
Right. I was going to go to either one, but because the showcase is at and I've gotten support from those people on some stuff. So
I actually know the host, and it's like the first time he's hosting it.
Right.
Dan Bullivant.
Yeah. He sent me a message, and
Right.
I sent him a very nice note saying I'm super sorry. These people have supported me a bunch of times, and I feel I need to
you definitely
return
need
the
to pay
favor. But I
definitely need to pay back.
Please let me know. He was on my calendar as well, so both of those. Either one, go buy a record at either place, and I suggest Thursday night would be a good night to try it. So, why don't I could I'll do like one verse of, even though I didn't write it, it's supposed to be original music, but my like he does like a. That's his version. Pretty straightforward, John Mellencamp, and I did like a. On a Greyhound, 30 miles beyond Jamestown, saw the sunset on the Tennessee line. Looked at the young man who was riding beside him. He said, "Now I'm old, kinda worn out inside. Worked my whole life in the steel mills near Gary, and my father before me I helped build this land. Now I'm 77, and with God as my witness, I've earned every dollar that's passed through my hands." So I just made it a waltz. It's a fun song. So, it's a great record, and you should listen to it. And why don't you do? I got a question for you. So like, can you remember the first? Like when was the first time you wrote a song?
Yeah, I'm self-taught guitarist. I was going out with this girl. She had an extra guitar. I begged her, and she let me use it. And then we split up. She took the guitar back, but then I ran out and bought a guitar. And so I was 18. I was 18 years old, and I actually took my guitar out in the woods and wrote a song out there.
You remember the title?
Yes, because if the title was literal, I was on a branch. It was called "On a Tree Overhanging" or "On a Branch Overhanging the River," because I was literally on a branch overhanging a river.
Well, sometimes.
Hey, first song, you know.
Let's see. You got another one you want to do?
Oh, sure. Back, and it's fitting for John. So, I've got the opportunity and to know people that live in the town of Pontiac, Illinois. Mm-hmm. And in fact, they do a second Monday of the month open mic at this music venue that was a funeral home, and now that's two guys took it over, a guy and his Uncle Steve and Mike, and they converting it into a music venue. And I've gone down now for almost a year, gone down and played that open mic, and it's led to lots of good things and met a lot of nice people. So I came up with this little riffy or little thing, and it just made me think of Pontiac. So I decided to write the song, and it's basically a fictional song about people from Pontiac, Illinois that I like very much. She listens to her children in the yard. She remembers back to yesterdays when life didn't feel so hard. She's proud to be a mother and a wife. She ain't fretting on living a small town life. Her husband comes all beaten down from work. The foreman at the poultry plant's been acting like a jerk. She figures another 30 years to go. He'll be loving his wife and watching his children grow. Life don't get too big living in this small town. Sometimes I'm tough, they tend the bowling alley down. You can go all day and never see a stranger's face. Can't imagine living any place other than here. She tells her daughter, dog, she paid no mind. Everyone knows that junior high can be cruel and unkind. She's gonna be a beauty like her mom. All she thinks about is going to 8th grade prom. She loves to hear her son play his guitar. Worries he'll spend his whole life following that star. People say he sounds just like the king. He loves up on stage more than anything. His life don't get too big living in this small town. Sometimes I'm tough, they tear the bowling alley down. You can go all day and never see a stranger's face. Can't imagine living any place other than here. She believes God's watching over her. She prays he'll keep her family strong. No matter what in life will occur, she knows she's where she belongs. 'Cause life don't get too big living in this small town. Sometimes I'm tough, they tear the bowling alley down. You can go all day and never see a stranger's face. Can't imagine living any place better than here. She listens to her children in the yard. Thank you.
Yay!
Hey, we ate me. So that was just, I imagined, a fictional family.
I was
And
gonna say, are they actual people?
no,
Okay.
except the son is actually loosely based on the friend that I've made, and that was the reason I've gone down to Pontiac, because I met him in an open mic in Kankakee, and his name is Aaron Newsom, and he does sound just like Elvis.
Yeah.
I mean, he can, right? I mean, he's just like one of those people that just got this killer voice, and he's just a super nice kid, and so yeah, and we just struck up a friendship, and we've continued to be friends. We text each other all the time, and we're friends.
Right on.
Yeah, it's really nice.
And how did you? Forgive me if you already said this. How
That's
did
okay.
you end up going to Pontiac in the first place?
So I met Aaron. Aaron said, "Oh, you got to come to Pontiac. There's this converted funeral home that hosts a really nice, open, friendly."
Which
open
you
mic.
did mention that earlier, and in my head I went,
So they have the viewing area with the stage is where the viewing area was, and the organ pipes are still up on the wall. And then they set out like a shit ton of chairs. There's like at least 35 people that come there, and they have food for people. People bring food, like a potluck kind of thing, and the local people just kind of come and hang out, and they've been very receptive to everything I've done. And then Steve and Mike are just super supportive, and I just love them both. And so, it's just to play and it's it's a listening room. I mean, there's just like,
right.
there's nobody talking. There's just
And that's the thing that's enjoyable when you're playing and people are actually engaged in what
Right.
you're doing.
Right.
That's,
You can look out, you can see, and you can see the people's faces, and it's like, and it's fun.
yeah, that's cool.
It's fun.
That's cool. The third question I have for you is a question that is sort of the point of sort of the central question that is the point of all this, which is what is your why? Why do you do this? What is the thing that drew you to writing songs, and what drives you to continue? This is the serious in a sense.
Yeah. So the reason I write songs is because when I've completed a new song, it's just like the best high in the world. There's nothing I enjoy more than that feeling of just having a new song done and finished, right? Mm-hmm. And then having it finished, then I want to take it out and see how other people react to it. And and I just love being on stage. I just love it. It's because I've had some moments, and when you're on stage like nothing else, the whole world doesn't matter. You're just there. You're focused on what you're in the moment. You're just focused on what you're doing, and all the worries and all that other crap doesn't mean anything. It's just
if you're doing it right.
Yeah. Well, right. Well, that's yeah. It's a practice. It's like yoga. It's a practice.
I've explained to people that like there are, especially when trying to coordinate like the band stuff and when things in my life weren't going as well, and all the things and setting up a PA and there are people and then like somebody's not showing up or this or all these things are going wrong or like a speaker is crapped out or the monitors aren't working or whatever. Like there's 1,000 things happening as I'm trying to get this thing in the time. We're late and the guy's mad and this and like I'm the guy that's in the middle and it's my name on it and I signed the contract and blah blah blah. And so we start and sometimes we've played 5-6 songs. I'm not thinking about this or this at all yet.
Oh.
And that's the thing that's the worst. And
yeah.
It's like that's the reason as you've heard the versions of me going out and talking about the things that I'm writing and the things that I was writing as a point of like it's therapeutic like to because that was the only way that I knew how to get this stuff out of because I was going crazy.
Right.
But I had this all those things that you just described, had all those feelings, all that stuff happened to me as a kid. I had some great, wonderful moments, amazing experiences in late teens and early 20s that were just life-changing, amazing moments. But then then you spend this. You're chasing this thing, and so then all of that like frustration then where I just knew that's wrong. Like I shouldn't be half hour into a set and not even be thinking about playing. Like, but I couldn't so it was like I need to just not do this anymore. Like I can't do this anymore, and and luckily that I was able to work through that, but that's where I can appreciate that, and when you lose that, that's like a death. Like,
it'd be scary. I know it'd be scary for me because the thing that's different about me coming out this time, because I stopped playing for 4 years during the pandemic, and literally 2 years of that, I literally did not take a guitar out of my case, just didn't do it, and my act wasn't that. When I came back, I was still self-conscious, so I'd be up there and I'd be self-conscious, and I wasn't like in the moment that much. And now it's like I've just done it so many times, and I'm very relaxed. It's my favorite place to be. I like to get up there and I like to tell stories, and I like to play songs, and I like you know, before I used to never like look at the crowd. Now I kind of like scan them to see like, okay, what's
Who's
going
making
on.
eye contact?
Yeah.
Right.
And all those things that I could never do, I've never done, you know, prior to this past year, 2024. And so I'm just happy. So I just want to keep on doing that and
Keep building on it.
yeah, build on it.
You got one more you want to do?
Sure.
All right, what do you got?
This is my this song I wrote for my youngest. I've written a few songs for her. She's the most like me, so she gets my. And it's basically she had a lot of issues with anxiety, still kind of does. I've had a lot of issues with anxiety, still kind of do, but not so bad lately. I've been pretty good. Knock on wood. So, here's wood. It's called Better Days. Now realize it's the truth. There's not a damn thing that I can do for you. A black sun, start your day, 'cause you can't help you feel this way. I can't find you any other way. There's no answers when I pray, but maybe tomorrow there'll be better days. The love I feel, I can't deny. I can't escape that look of sadness in your eyes. A blank stare, you're trapped inside, 'cause you can't help you feel this way. I can't find you any other way. There's no answers when I pray, but maybe tomorrow there'll be better days. Cause you can't help you feel this way. I can't show you any other way. There's no answers when I pray, but maybe tomorrow there'll be better days. Hey, there'll be better days. Hey, 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 there'll be better days.
Beautiful.
Thank you. I've counted now, seven women cry. No, seriously. Two in Pontiac. One was sitting in the front seat and she just started bawling. But yeah, it was cool. I mean,
That's beautiful.
it's,
You know you're doing something right.
well, just that I was able to elicit, I mean, that's what I'm trying to do with every song.
The
Is elicit
connection.
some, right, human connection and physically, get some sort of emotion with, pull out some sort of emotion.
If you can make people pay attention enough and connect with it and feel, you've done your job.
There you go.
And that's the thing. That was Aaron Kelly's answer to make a connection.
Mm-hmm.
And,
Yeah.
And that's that's his answer to the what's your why is to make a connection. And that's the shorthand answer. But And that's it sounds like you've done it because
Well, that song, yeah.
that's beautiful. It's beautiful. So we've gotten to. So I'd like to say thank you for being here.
Well, thank you for having me. Of course.
We could go on and on and on, but I forgot to start the timer because I started using a timer because I go on and on and on. And it's a way to keep myself in check, but I actually forgot to, because as you can see, I'm always like up to the last minute, and then I'm late and constantly like starting a few minutes late, and but it's all fun, and I really enjoyed. I've gotten to really enjoy doing this, and like I'm getting, like a setting in this, and like it's like my brain is processing how to make it better between every thing, and so all these different things that I'm doing. So, but for next week we have Christian Allen Hansen is he unfortunately was ill last week, so he couldn't make it, so he's going to come next week. And got any gigs you want to promote? What do you got coming up?
Yeah, well, okay, so I've started to do, and I'm trying to book different places. I'm doing a writer's round because I'm going after places that want 3 hours of music, right? Mm-hmm. I have a lot of material. I've gone and done 2-hour shows, not a problem, without blinking. And not, and proud of all the songs I did. Oh, because I've always only done original.
That's great.
Because long time ago, I was doing that. I was doing 5 sets of covers.
Whoa.
3 nights a week, but it paid the bills and stuff. And I drived. It was.
Was that when you were with the Beatles in Hamburg?
Right. It's about like it was similar, and it was all covers. And I just said never again. So when I started playing again, I just said I'm just going to stick with my own material, good or bad or indifferent. It's like this is what I enjoy. I don't think I'd have that great of a voice. I don't think my guitar skills are not that good. I think I write a fairly decent, clever song. So it's like, that's my strength. Go with my strength.
Right on. And the writer's round is...
Oh, okay. So the writer's round is me and 2 other songwriters. Kenny P. Mitchell. I don't know if you know of him.
I do.
Okay. And Trevin Zeal. He's a friend I made. He lives down in Shanahan. And we're playing we're playing Friday. This Friday.
The 17th, is it?
On the 17th, correct. At Chicago Street Pub.
Okay.
So we'll be doing...
And that's where you have your open mic on Odd Tuesdays.
On the Odd Tuesdays, correct.
Right on.
Right. So that's our first booking, and then I've got 3 places that the fish has been hooked. Whether or not I can pull the fish all the way in remains to be seen. But I've got 3 strong interests from other places. So.
I had a very similar conversation with somebody recently about booking some things and making it more of a communal thing instead of it just being me for 3 hours. Making it more of a community thing where you're doing stuff with other people because it's more interesting for both us as artists and an audience.
Exactly. It's more, that's the selling point. I says, it's just not one guy going up there and just over and over. After a while, it's just going to get tiresome. But if you're constantly flipping it around and like...
So that's the 17th, and that's what time?
7 o'clock.
Okay, cool.
7 o'clock.
So that's Patrick and Kenny P. Mitchell, right? I met him at O'Neill's.
O'Neill's.
And
Trevin Zeal.
Cool. And then we're going to be at O'Neill's on the 24th, which is the following Friday, and then the following Tuesday, the Arcata Theater. We're doing an original showcase for a half hour.
Ooh, nice.
And then I got a Thursday at Preservation in January, which would be super cold.
They heated up pretty well.
I know.
I've been to their outdoor thing. I went to like the last open mic of 24 on the 30th, and
I went to a couple with Aaron and recently, and they do pretty good. But if the wind is blowing just the right direction, you get they were really nice, and I had been communicating with the woman that handles all that stuff, and she said, well, weather permitting, I understand that she said, but do you want to get started with a Thursday night in January if it's not terrible? And I said, I'll do whatever.
So you're doing a 3-hour show though?
I'm doing a night, and she just asked me last week if I wanted to do a Thursday, so I haven't. I said absolutely, if you're offering. So that's on the 30th. So, and then next month I have Matt Shukin here, and Miguelito, Rick Wales, and Colleen Wild are the guests next month. So.
Oh, Colleen's gonna be here too.
Yeah,
I love that blue-haired gal.
She's right. She actually was one of the people that was the when I first started going out this summer. That was one of the first people to extend a hand and be kind.
Yes,
she's a kind human being.
Oh, she's the best.
Right. So that brings us to dumb joke of the day. So that's Fred's favorite.
Oh wait,
time.
can I do one more? Oh, can I do one more plug?
Of course.
So on February 23rd, I'm in Pontiac at that place. I'm opening up for a national touring artist. This guy's out of Kalamazoo, and his name is John Hayes.
Right on.
So that's on a Sunday. Doors open at 1.
Cool.
But
John Hayes is right on.
Yeah, no H. Joe in John. So Jon Hayes, like it sounds. And because that's my goal. I think is this year I want to be opening acts. I want to be an opening act for national touring bands.
Right.
That's the goal I'm trying to attain. You go to see a show at Shuba's, they trot out the old guy. I keep them entertained for half an hour, and then
You made me laugh with that one, Patrick. All right, so let's see what's in the mailbox. So we didn't have a mailbox for a very long time. Now we got a mailbox. So this week, dumb joke of the day. I have to get. You'd think if this guy has a recording studio, he'd at least have a theme and a dumb joke of the day theme. We're working on it. So today.
Now, is this a joke you've written?
No, I collect them from wherever. I have all kinds of jokes collected. So today's dumb joke of the day is. There's breaking news. A man has invented reverse origami. More to this story as it unfolds. So that. I even have the rim shot now.
There you go.
So, okay, so that brings us to the end of our show. Thank you again for being here.
Thank you.
I really appreciate it.
I appreciate it.
And as always, be kind to one another. Yes. This world is crazy. And thanks, and we'll see you next week, all right? As Ray Rayner used to say. Where's my mouse? That isn't what Ray Rayner used to say. First, I have to find my mouse. And then Ray Rayner used to say, bye, bye, bye.